This week on Comedy Hype News, CJ and Sade touch on the conversation involving Gayle King's interview with Lisa Leslie regarding pick-me Negroes in entertainment. They would dive into Monique calling out Oprah online and what's the code for black entertainers in front of white audiences.
Let me just say, I told you, I've been telling you about Monique. When Monique came and said on Comedy Hype in 2019, I've been writing for Monique. Monique been trying to tell us about Oprah.
No, Oprah, it ain't what I think. You did do something wrong. You maliciously, and you had full intentions of having my parents on your show and not saying anything to me. Was that for ratings?
She been trying to point out what's going on. Now look at Oprah. She caught up in the headlines with Gayle King, with the whole Kobe Bryant situation, questioning Lisa Leslie. They're not even trying to hide no more that they're put here to assassinate black men's characters. Your timing was awful. Yes. The way it was worded was awful. And then just the push, you know. Keep pushing. It confirmed that you had a certain motive. You had a certain agenda that you were put there to push. But Oprah used to do the same thing. What Monique was talking about. When Monique said, I told you not to have my family on your show. Oprah went and put the family on the goddamn show anyway. You get what I'm saying? So it's more so as far as Monique been trying to point out these pick-me Negroes. And let me be clear, when you talk about the pick-me Negroes, we're talking about the certain black man or woman that's pushed to the forefront that look like us and is chosen to represent us, but really you're not for us. So you're used as that vessel to push certain agendas, but at the same time to get us on your side. Because Oprah now is a trend. It's a trend, right? We're all seeing it now. And it was Michael Jackson. It was Bill Cosby. It was she dove into Russell Simmons. You know? It's a trend, and now you have her sidekick, Gayle King, that comes on to do the same thing to Kobe Bryant. So it makes you question, where are these people coming from? Like, where did Gayle King come from? Where do we know her besides being Oprah's friend? But we didn't listen to Monique, and this is the thing, because Monique she represented us. She was for black people. Hell, she was in the color purple. Right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it was Oprah. But at the same time, you were picked to make us think that you're for us, but really, you out here trying to assassinate our kings. You get what I'm saying? She does. And it's deeper than like what we see. Bill Cosby's wife came out and she called it out. No. I ran across what she posted on Instagram. Y'all brought out Camille Cosby. This lady been minding her business for years. Right. But no, she did go on Instagram. She said, history repeats itself again, and multiple more agains. The relentless, stereotypical portrayals of people of color, and I will specify African-American men for the purpose of this statement, and the ever-present, unproven accusations of black men as sexually deviant, brutal black bucks are repetitive obsessions in most general media. Their messengers are all too enthusiastically ready to disseminate the particular horrific racist imageries that are forever the demonization of black men. The media's current attempts to supersede Mr. Kobe Bryant's celebrated history with an old case that was unproven and dismissed are downright parasitic and cruel. And the media's numerous messengers are participants in that deplorable behavior and disrespect for Mr. Bryant's wife, children, and family. Anyone who has suddenly lost a spouse, child, or loved one intensely knows the emotional, penetrating traumas of that kind of shock. I certainly do. Camille Cosby. She's referring to Gayle King and Oprah Winfrey. She's referring to Gayle King and Oprah Winfrey. And not just them two, but the media as a whole and the pick-me Negroes that are put in positions to do those things, to tarnish the legacy of our legends. Kobe Bryant's one of our legends. You know, Bill Cosby is one of our legends. Michael Jackson. You know, just legendary black people who have such a deep footprint in our culture. They are put there to tarnish it. Not only did Monique try to tell us that, Cat Williams tried to tell us that as well. Yes. In his infamous sit down with V103. Now that interview went viral because he roasted Wanda. Right. However,
he had some points.
The infamous roast.
The infamous roast.
Yes.
To Wanda. He had some points, and I think he was literally saying the same thing that Monique was saying. It was just his delivery. So he called out the Gerard Carmichaels, the Hannibal Buress, the Kevin Hart, Tiffany Haddish.
The pick-me Negroes.
Right, that they're put in a certain light and they reach a certain level of success because they play it safe. They don't call out what's going on in the industry.
And the thing is, with the Gerard Carmichael, you have to ask, like, where did he come from? Where did he come from?
We just looked up one day and he was on the screen.
Because if you look at his special back in 2014, Love at the Store, if you look back at that special, he's in front of white people talking about how he's glad slavery existed. Because if slavery didn't exist, I would still be living in Africa with AIDS.
But you guys got to understand, if it weren't for slavery, you guys, I would be in Africa right now. Africa. Are you hearing what I'm saying to you? Like, they have AIDS there.
What?
That was very tasteless to say.
But you go in an interview and say, oh, I don't switch up my content because black people are very smart. Black people, they know what's going on. You wouldn't dare say that in front of black people.
He wouldn't say that in front of a black audience.
You would never say that in front of black people.
But he did say, though, he said he's consistent on every stage.
He a lie.
He did say he doesn't switch up his material or his content based on the
Gerard
audience.
Carmichael a lie because he stood in front of white people and told that slavery joke. He glad slavery existed.
So it's back to our point. He's put there to say those kind of things to amuse the whites. He has specials. They're giving the movie roles, the specials, the shows, the limelight.
But here's the thing.
Power.
We have to identify people like Gerard Carmichael, right? Because he's smart. He knows that us as black people, we're emotional. We react off emotions. So go back to what Jamie Foxx said in the roast. Let me talk about our struggle. That'll get him over, which is what he did in the Carmichael show. He would drop gems in the Carmichael show and make us think, oh, okay, he won us, right? But you go in front of white people and tell a joke like that. So it's more so of the industry know who to put on these big platforms. They know who to give these specials to. They know who to give all this money to and put in the forefront.
They know who to give the platform to.
Absolutely.
Take a look at Key and Peele, for instance, right? They replaced the Chappelle show. Right. Because they did what Chappelle said he didn't want to do. Chappelle walked away. Key and Peele, where did they come from?
Well, here's the thing. Chappelle walked away because it bothered him that white people were laughing he felt like white people were laughing at his skits and his message. So he walked away. But guess what? I'll walk away. Guess what? What one black man won't do, you got 100 other black people that'll do what you're not willing to do.
Correct.
Key and Peele walked right up to it. They didn't care.
They may not be fully black, but they're put there to represent us.
Yeah. Look at the skit, the one skit they did, the slavery auction skit. What the hell was that? Right?
It was what Dave Chappelle wouldn't do.
Right. But then it's cool. It has some humor to it. I'm not going to lie. But I don't feel comfortable seeing you do this. But y'all have white wives.
Exactly.
Y'all have white wives.
And here's where the manipulation kicks in. You have you have Jordan Peele that's a part of a skit like that, but he comes out with the movie called Get Out, who has such a strong message. You know, how black people are trapped in these white spells.
It's for the money.
In Hollywood. You know, he comes out with the movie that gives us insight and a strong message. You have to be slightly intelligent to get it, you know? But he's not going to stand on stage and say it, how Cat Williams did, you know? So again, Monique warned us. She warned us about Steve Harvey as well. Now, I think we've all engaged in one conversation where we've said, you know, Steve Harvey sure do go in on the black people on Family Feud.
Yes.
I think we've all had that conversation, you know?
But the thing is, I think what comes to question is, as far as those pick-me Negroes that are put on these huge platforms, those are the pick-me Negroes that are put in place to represent us, right? So even just being out on the comedy set, I'll go into like a white room or a mainstream room, whatever you want to call it. There's this energy in the air before a black comedian goes up, where white people, you can tell they're like, ugh, I hope he don't go up there and talk about us killing y'all for no reason.
Right.
Oh, I hope he don't talk about slavery. God, I hope he don't point out the racist shit that's going on in America right now. So as soon as you get that pick-me Negro on the stage that go up and talk about, make fun of us or black people, it's a, whew, I can sit back and have a drink and enjoy the show.
Right.
Woo.
They're
You know?
comfortable. Just amuse me. Don't make me uncomfortable.
Yeah, just make me comfortable. Don't say anything out of line, and don't create that awkward energy in the air, right? So a Gerard Carmichael, who can go up and make fun of slavery and say, you know, I'm glad slavery existed because, you know, in Africa, I would have still been in Africa with the AIDS. It make white people comfortable around black people like him. So he looked like us. He's put in a position to represent us, but you're not for us. So that's where I think this code needs to come in line, to where we can check the pick-me Negroes, and we can identify people like Gayle, Oprah.
I agree.
So let us know in the comments below, what's the code? And what do we do about the pick-me Negroes? Until next week, it's CJ and Sade with Comedy Hype News.